Hello everyone, welcome back to ErikaBuilds and another Sims 4 speed build. Today I have a really large modern home for you guys. It is based from a photo of a real house that I found online. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw the work in progress picture that I posted Friday night. And I was really happy to see so many people liked this house because I thought the design was really beautiful. As I've said many times, I spend a lot of time just scrolling through Google Images and Instagram, looking at all different kinds of houses. And I think modern houses are really the most difficult to build in The Sims, and also the most difficult to find good reference photos for. So I was really excited when I saw this house because it just looked like something that was probably like doable for The Sims. And I'm getting to the point now where I've been building for long enough that I can tell pretty much by first glance if the picture looks like it's going to be something that I can do or that anyone can do, because a lot of times with modern homes you get a lot of really unusual styles and types that just we don't have the capability of making. So this one worked out well, I think. It has 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, and I put this on a 40 by 30 lot. The bedrooms are set up for 2 parents and 2 kids on the first floor, and then a teen or young adult upstairs on the second floor, along with a toddler room. And I was kind of thinking, since I didn't have a particular family that I was building this house for, that upstairs could be for a teen and toddler siblings, or it could be for like a teen or young adult child that has a toddler, so like a grandchild for the parents that own the home. So I thought it could go either way. But I basically spent all day yesterday, which was Saturday, working on this house and the interior and making this video. And the last few videos that I've done have been small homes or tiny homes or apartments, and so I hadn't done a big house in a few days. And boy, these just really take a lot of time. And I always feel bad because I want to post videos, but also I want to build big houses. So I'm always struggling between the two, trying to find a good balance to be able to keep doing what I love, which is building these big houses, but also, shaking it up and doing other things and having a good selection of different sizes, because I know some people prefer small houses and some people prefer big houses. So I want to be able to do both. Speaking of, I would love to know in the comments what you guys thought of the tiny home that I did this week and also the apartment. If you enjoyed those and you'd like to see more of stuff like that, just let me know. You can see here in the background as I'm building, there's some other modern homes here. This is Oasis Springs, by the way, if you didn't recognize it. This is pretty much where I put all of my modern houses. I have some in Strangerville as well, but most of them are here in Oasis Springs. And in the background, you might see some other familiar builds. On the left is a house called the Arizona, which is a modern house that has sort of a jungle adventure interior. And then on the right side are 2 other modern houses. The yellow one you see there is a modular home called Modern Modular, and then on the right next door to it is another modern house I did called Modern Desert Family Home, which would have been a really good name for this house. But since I already had used that name before, I decided to call this one Mega Desert Modern because it's a lot bigger than the one next door. But the interior of this home is very modern, very open concept. I used a lot of Spa Day and the Fitness Stuff Pack and City Living. Those are probably the 3 main packs that I used, and Perfect Patio stuff. I used quite a bit of that for the outdoor areas. But those 3 for the inside are pretty much what I used. And the way that I sort of designed this is that it would be very open. So as you first come into the home, the living room, dining room, and kitchen are all open to each other, with there's like a, what do you call it? Like an atrium, or like a pass through to the second floor where you can see upstairs, or if you're upstairs, you can look downstairs. That has a very open sort of center section. So it really makes the interior of the house feel really big and spacious. And then this house also has an indoor pool, which I have not done in a very long time. It may be like a year. I don't know. It's been a long time. But when I saw the picture of this real house, and it had this glass garage on the side, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this huge glass garage? And I was like, I know, that'll be the perfect place for a pool. So I decided to put the pool in there. So there's indoor pool, and then there's an outdoor hot tub. Kind of the way I did the outside is on the what is that? The right side of the house, there's a big deck, and that's where like the grill and the bar and the hot tub and music and seating and all that. So I call that kind of like the party deck. And then on the back of the house, there's a big covered porch with like couches and ceiling fans and lots of plants. And so that is like kind of more the relaxing, calm, sitting on the back porch, chilling sort of outdoor space. So it kind of has 2 outdoor spaces. As you can see, I'm working here on the floor plan. This video was so long. Oh my gosh, it was so long. I had to cut massive amounts out of this, and it's still like almost 45 minutes long. But this type of house is very difficult to floor plan because it's modern, and so you don't just want a grid of boxes. You know, you don't want it to have that traditional flow. You want it to be, you want some angled walls, you want some half walls, some partial walls, you want feature walls, you want misshaped rooms, and I don't know, that just to me kind of goes with modern houses. And so that requires a lot of just sitting and visualizing everything in your mind before you even draw the walls. So there was a lot of time spent just looking at the floor plan and trying a lot of different things before I found something that made sense. So I tried to cut out some of that because I didn't want the video to be super duper long, even though it is pretty long. But I think it is helpful, especially because I know a lot of you guys like to build, and people are always asking me, especially on Instagram, like, how do you build, or how do you build this? And so I guess watching this process, even though it might seem kind of long and tedious, is probably helpful to sort of see the thought process that goes into planning out rooms and floor plans. And a lot of times I plan things out and I end up tearing down rooms or moving rooms, or, you know, that's all part of it. You just kind of have to try a lot of different things. But for the most part, I kind of knew like where the general area of everything was going to be located. For example, I knew, you see me working on the kitchen right here. I knew that was going to be the kitchen because it was right off the deck where I knew the grill was going to be. And I always tend to put living rooms towards the back of the house. So kind of like rule of thumb that you'll follow as you're building, like certain places you just kind of know, like, this is probably where I'm going to put the kitchen, this is probably where I'm going to put the dining room, etc., etc. But I wanted to keep this really open, but still you can't have a kitchen too open or you won't have any walls to put your cabinets on. So that's why I ended up putting this little partial wall here by the stairs, but cutting it open there. I don't know the technical term for it, but I put that there specifically so I would have a place to put the cabinets, but still maintaining the open feeling, which I think turned out pretty nice. You'll see a little bit better here in a minute. And as I'm doing that, I'm still adjusting like windows. And this is another thing that I tend to do is when I place windows on a shell house, 9 times out of 10, those windows are not going to stay there, because once you start floor planning and then getting into the room and deciding where you want the bed, where you want the dresser, where you want the kitchen cabinets and whatever, a lot of times you're still, moving windows or pulling walls out an extra inch or whatever. So as you can, it's funny there, I just pulled out that dining room wall an extra click, because once I got the table and chairs in there, I saw that the dining room needed to be just a tiny bit longer. So I'm always editing as I'm decorating. But this kitchen is being done in Spade, which is kind of my go-to cabinet for in modern kitchens. There are a couple of cabinets in base game that could also be used for modern. The other one that I use quite often, Harbinger or Habinger, it starts with an H, I can't remember. That one's a pretty good one for modern. And then the one that we got in Cool Kitchen Stuff pack, what is that one called? I can't remember. But the Cool Kitchen Stuff pack cabinets, those are also really good for modern. And then here in the dining room, I did, for the first time ever, the dining room table and chairs from the Fitness Stuff pack, which I don't know why I have never used that dining room set before, but I love it. It's so cool. Like, it's got this glass top table that has this really sort of architectural pedestal that it sits on, and then the chairs are really cool shaped. The only slightly downside is that the wood didn't match Spade exactly, but I think it blends okay. So I was really excited about using that. It's so funny how you'll have a pack for like forever, and then there'll be something in it that you didn't realize that you hadn't used. And so I definitely will be using that dining room set more often. And then over here in the living room, these couches are from City Living, and the side tables and the coffee table are from the Fitness Stuff pack. As I said before, pretty much the whole house is Spade, City Living, and the Fitness Stuff pack. We don't really have a lot of modern packs. I was thinking that before Get Famous came out that we would have a lot more modern, but really that's more of like a mid-century modern. It's not like a straight up modern. So we could probably use some more modern furnishings. Maybe in a future pack. I know we're getting several packs this year. Maybe we'll get some more modern stuff. But anyway, I put a fireplace there and a big screen TV, and then I don't know what I was thinking with those lights, but what I ended up doing was kind of embedding those sconces into the wall next to the TV, so it would kind of almost look like backlit. You know how a lot of times like really fancy TVs have like backlighting? I don't know. So that was my attempt at backlighting. And I used those sconces again over by the entryway and by the back door. Those are from City Living, and I feel like they're very modern and they really fit the vibe of the house. I also used quite a few candles in the house. Most of them are from Spade. I feel like those are very modern as well. And the walls, I forgot to mention, those are from the Fitness Stuff pack. They're like a very sort of narrow brick, which I love. Over there under the stairs, that bookcase is also from the Fitness Stuff pack. So like I said, those 3 packs are all over the place in this house. That little side table there is also from the Fitness Stuff pack, which is funny because when you think of fitness stuff, you wouldn't really think of furniture. You would think of like all stuff for like working out or like for a gym, but there's a ton of really nice furniture in that pack. If you are looking for, a new pack to buy to give yourself more furniture, I would highly recommend that one. Even if you're not interested in the gym equipment, there's tons of furniture in that pack as well. But now I'm just pulling things out of the catalog to decorate the kitchen. And as I'm scrolling, I'm sort of repeating to myself, this is a modern kitchen. This is a modern kitchen. Because I do so many kitchens, and most of the time they're very country or very rustic. So as pulling things out of the catalog is almost like automatic at this point. So I have to repeat to myself over and over, modern, modern, modern. So I don't pull out all the cutesy little quaint and country items that I usually use. More on that later. You'll see where I made a big boo-boo on this house, but luckily I fixed it. But that is one reason why I try to never stick to one specific type of build for too long, because once I start doing like a lot of rustic homes or a lot of country homes, it's like I almost lose my ability to do other styles. So I'm constantly trying to make myself mix things up. Anyway, this is the garage that I turned into the indoor pool. I was playing around with kind of a funky shape there of the pool, and then I changed my mind. But I kind of went with this diamond shape, which I thought matched the shape of the garage pretty well. This is mostly all spa day in here. I put lockers and little benches and towels. It's kind of the way I was thinking is, since this door to the pool is right by the front door, it's kind of in between the front door of the house and the kitchen. So I imagined that you would need sort of like a locker area, towel area for getting changed or for putting on a robe or something before you go back out into the house. And that towel on a hook is from the fitness stuff pack. Indoor pools, I think, are pretty cool because, your Sims can swim all year round, which maybe in Oasis Springs is not that big of a deal. But if you put this house in an area that's more cold or snowy, it's nice that you can use the pool all year round. And then right off of the pool, kind of in between the front entrance and the pool, is a bathroom, kind of like a guest bathroom or just a main downstairs bathroom, and this is all in spa day as well. I kind of pictured this as being sort of a multi-purpose bathroom. Maybe it would be for people who are using the pool, but it would also be for guests. Like if you have a dinner party or something, this would be the bathroom everybody would use for that as well. And at the end of the video, I ended up going and putting a toddler potty seat in this bathroom too, so that way the toddler doesn't have to go upstairs to go to the bathroom. So this bathroom is just sort of a little bit of everything. But I love this shade of tan, tile and brick. I think it's very modern and it's very clean. And these lights that I'm using a lot of, those sort of pendant lights that are like a wire sort of metal, those are also from the fitness stuff pack. Okay, then over here on the left side of the front door is the office, and it's cut at an angle with double doors, so it's kind of like all glass on one side. I ended up using the new desk, chair, and laptop that we got in the most recent patch update, which I'm still using so much in all of my houses. I'm obsessed with it still, and the bookcase as well, and I love combining the bookcase and the desk together to kind of make this wall unit. I don't know, this desk just looks good everywhere. I feel like it looks good in modern houses, in country houses, in bedrooms, in offices. It's just, I don't know if it's just because it's new, but I don't know, I just love it so much. I keep using it a lot, and I'm sorry about that, but it's probably going to keep happening until we get another new desk. And then this bookcase in here is from City Living. Actually, there's two bookcases. There's this kind of large bookcase, and then there's another smaller bookcase behind the desk. But I imagined This office would be really good if you have a sim who works from home, so like a freelance career or something, because it's right in the heart of the house, but it does have doors, which gives, quiet place, like if you have to make work calls or do, a lot of work from home, phone meetings or something. And it's architecturally, very similar to the living room as well. And then just on the other side of the kitchen and dining room is the master bedroom. That's what you're seeing here now. This bed is from City Living, and this bedroom took me a while because originally on the reference photo, there were just these little small square windows in this room. And I think this actually was the master bedroom in the reference house also, but I don't know, I just couldn't get behind these square windows. And I think the main problem is that we just don't have any curtains that look good with that particular type of window. So I swapped them out for these big floor to ceiling windows, which really brightened the room up and gave me a lot more options for curtains, which I ended up using this. Okay, so I was kind of thinking, like, imagine that those curtains are closed, but that when they open up, they would go away from the bed and like close the windows from the side. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I was envisioning it in my mind. But I love how the sun is just streaming in through this room. I also love these colors. This is blue with sort of like a tan and cream. The artwork that's hanging over the bed is also from the new patch update. And for the furniture in here, I believe the nightstand and dresser are Base Game or City Living. No, maybe they're City Living. I can't remember. And then that little chest as well, City Living. So trying to keep this room as modern as I can, adding just as many sort of modern decor items. It's a struggle because, by nature, I'm always trying to make more traditional or country style bedrooms and bathrooms. So again, I'm just repeating to myself as I'm designing this, modern, to try to keep it looking as modern as I can. But I really think this turned out cute. And this sisal, is that how you pronounce it? Sisal rug that's under the bed is the same type of rug that I use for the living room and the dining room and in a bunch of places, because I feel like that's a very modern rug texture. So that's used all over the house. And then I gave them a TV in here, and then those little poofs match the curtains perfectly, also from City Living. So everything just came together really nicely in this master bedroom. And I always like kind of keeping the master bedroom a little bit secluded away from the kids' rooms when I do these really big house builds. So it's kind of like their own little private oasis over here. And now I'm just cluttering up these nightstands with a few items. I've got like a tablet there and a magazine and some photos. And then just to the side is the master bedroom bathroom, which again, it started out with this really big window on the back from the reference photo, but I ended up kind of changing that as well. But the walls in here, this sort of smooth cut stone versus the rough cut brick, are both from the fitness stuff pack, as well as the corner tub, sink, toilet, shower. That's all fitness stuff pack. So like I was saying before, fitness stuff pack is a great pack for furniture because you're not only getting, that really cool dining room set and all those cool coffee tables and side tables, but a really nice bathroom stuff as well. So really, really great for a stuff pack. So here you see, I just shifted the window over and decided to go with a corner window. When I'm building houses on my own without reference photos, I almost always do a corner window like this over a corner tub because I just think that looks really beautiful. And so for the opposite corner where I put the shower, okay, so this maybe is a little bit weird, but you know how like you have like big Roman showers, right? So I was kind of imagining like if we had Roman showers in the game that would make the most sense for a house like this. So I put the shower in the corner and then I kind of boxed it in with the matching brick and those columns and changed the floor tiles and everything to kind of make it look like a, I'm air quoting right now, Roman shower, even though it's not, but just pretend it is, because I think that would be really cool if it was. And that I think also goes really nice for the master as well. And then I'm just adding a little bit of decor and hanging a photo, and then that bathroom is done. Okay, so now you can see this first floor is almost done. I'm headed out to the deck. So this deck is accessible from the pool and also from the master bedroom as well. I even contemplated changing one of those kitchen windows into a door so that you could have direct access from the kitchen to the deck as well, but then I didn't. But if you download this home and you want to add a door there, I think that would be logical. So out here is a grill and a patio set, and there's a bar and a stereo and a hot tub. So this is what I was calling the party deck. So this is where I figure you go, like if you're having friends over, you're cooking out, you're having some cocktails, you're using the hot tub. Definitely more of like the lively sort of fun atmosphere. Maybe if the parents are having friends over, or the teen or the young adult are having friends over, this would be where everybody would hang out. I had played around with some plants there that I ended up getting rid of because they didn't really fit. It's really hard for me. Okay, I've said this millions of times, but I'll say it again. I'm really not that good with plants. Not with interior, like inside plants, not with gardening, not with landscaping. So I feel like we don't really have a lot of modern plants. And so it makes it even harder for me, who I'm already plant challenged, that I can come up with plants that fit for a modern deck. So I ended up adding, I think, a plant that was from the Perfect Patio stuff. But other than that, there's probably room for more plants. Those of you who are good with plants, I'm sure, can make that deck look even better. Okay, so now we are in the first kid's bedroom. These two kid rooms are on the first floor. And I just imagined, you know, just kind of regular plain old kids rooms. They're not really set for any specific type of child or any particular interest. I gave both of these bedrooms a laptop and just standard furniture, bookcase, dresser, nightstand. I think both of them have musical instruments and they have toys, but open to your interpretation on what kind of kids you think would live here. Maybe this one has a little bit of a sporty look with those sports pictures, but really these are pretty generic kids' rooms. Lots of blue in here. That furniture is from the Kids Stuff pack, and the bed is from City Living, as well as the rug. I was trying to incorporate, okay, here's where I have to admit that I messed up. I was trying to incorporate as many things from City Living into the kids' rooms as I could, but I make a lot of kids' rooms and I mostly always use Parenthood or the Kids Stuff pack. So when I was doing these rooms, I was fighting my urge to just go with all the typical furnishings and things that I would always use for just a regular suburban home. So at the end of the build, I actually had to go back and correct things that just didn't make any sense. So for example, both of these bedrooms have their own bathroom, but because I was on autopilot, I made the bathrooms in Parenthood. And at the end of the build, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. Why would these two bathrooms, because there's 5 bathrooms in the house, why would these 2 bathrooms be in Parenthood when all the other bathrooms are modern? So I ended up demolishing both bathrooms and starting over from scratch to do them in a modern design. And the reason is because, okay, so like with furnishings, you can sort of justify, okay, well, this particular child has more traditional furnishings because that's what they prefer. But when it comes to bathrooms, you know, you figure this house was built before the family moved in, and so all the bathrooms would be the same, right? I mean, not the same, but they would all be the same style. So anyway, I had to go back and fix it. But luckily I did, because that's one of those things that would have really bugged me later on. And believe me, there are a lot of things that end up bothering me because I don't know, I'm just really critical of myself and I can't help it. Okay, so back on the first floor now in the back of the house, this is what I'm calling like the chill deck. So this is very different than the party deck. This has a much more relaxed vibe. There's no grill, there's no music, there's no bar. This is just couches for relaxing, lots of plants, ceiling fans. So this is really just a place to sit, relax, unwind, enjoy the outdoors. I just wanted it to be very different from the other outdoor space. So that way you kind of have both. You have a place for lively action, and then you have a place just for relaxing. I get rid of that white rug though. That doesn't look good. This is the hardest thing about doing a voiceover is I have to watch all the things that I did that I didn't like. And it's like, you just feel exposed. You're like, why did I put that there? It looks so bad. But I ended up changing that to another one of those sisal rugs. Am I saying that word right? Please tell me if I'm not. To match the rest of the house. So lots of plants. And now we are upstairs, and you can see that sort of atrium pass through that gives you a look down to the first floor. So I think that's very modern, very cool to be able to look down and see through there. So upstairs here is where I put the laundry room. I don't usually put laundry rooms upstairs, but I didn't really have a good logical place to put it downstairs because of that pool. I didn't want to put it in the garage with the pool, so I decided to put it up here. These are the same cabinets that I used for the kitchen, so they're spa day, and I really struggled. I had to cut a lot out of doing this room because I really struggled finding walls and floors that I liked. I don't know, I feel like when you're in a modern house that you really need to stick with like certain types of flooring. And so usually I'm always either doing tile or I'm doing like a very modern looking wood floor like I did for the downstairs. And I don't like to, because normally in laundry rooms, if you've watched my other builds, I do a lot of laundry day and a lot of jungle adventure. But logically, I just didn't think that the jungle adventure tiles matched the modern house. So again, I have to break my habit of what I always do, and I have to force myself to do something different, even if I don't like it. But that is a laundry day rug, which I think still works, and it matches the cabinets really nicely. So I ended up at the end going with the same brick that I used downstairs from the Fitness Stuff pack, and I think it turned out okay. Now, right here at this Passover, I don't know what to call this thing. I'm just gonna call it atrium. So right here by the atrium is this bonus room. And in the original house plan, there was a pass through that looked over and a bonus room, but there were no other rooms up here. It was just those two things. And I knew I needed more bedrooms, so that's why I kind of expanded this area and added more rooms up here. But I did keep this bonus room because I thought it was a cool feature of the house. And so up here, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it. And so I kind of ended up turning it into a place for the kids. So, but sort of like for the family too. So I put the game table there because that's more of like a family friendly activity. And then over on the other side, I did the toy box and the kids like arts and crafts table. And I put the fish tank in here and a stereo. So it's just kind of a bonus room for everyone. I feel like the kids, the teens, the parents, they could all find something to do in that room. Then just on the other side is this teen room or young adult room. And this is, like I was saying at the beginning, this is the room that I imagined could be either for their teen or young adult child, depending on if you want to play like that this is a person that maybe has their own child. So maybe it's an older child of theirs who now has a child. But that's kind of what I was envisioning for this particular room. This bed is from City Living, and those side tables are from the new patch update. The wallpaper is actually from Parenthood, but I still think it has a nice modern look. I used one of the new desks as I'm using a lot of those. And then this chest of drawers is from Get Famous. So this teen room is very light and bright. There's a lot of yellow and cream and white. And I think that helped, since these windows are rather small, I think the light colors definitely helped brighten the room up. And then I added a lot of lamps to this room as well. Anytime I'm dealing with a room that has these small windows, I tend to use lots and lots of lamps to keep the room bright. I tried those fairy lights at first, but I ended up taking them down because I guess they felt maybe a little bit too childish for this particular, the mental picture that I had for this particular kid. So there I am adding there's a light on the dresser, and there's a floor lamp and some candles. And so the room is slowly getting brighter despite the lack of natural sunlight. And this bedroom also has its own bathroom that it shares with the toddler. So it's like a Jack and Jill design. And that's another reason why I thought this would be a really good area for a teen or young adult who has a child, because this is kind of like their own zone up there. So the bathroom is quite large. It is sort of an odd shape. So I ended up making sort of a towel area on one side and the bathtub in front of the window. This is all spa day up here. I played around with doing double sinks, but I couldn't make it fit, so I ended up sticking that little side table underneath the sink so I would have a place to put some decor items. And of course, there's a potty seat in here for the toddler. So if these are siblings, you kind of think maybe the teen sort of helps the parent or parents with the toddler, or it could be their child. So this room is pink and purple. It's got pretty much all the standard toddler items: bookcase, dollhouse, building blocks, toddler tablet. It's a small room, but you know, a toddler doesn't really need much space, so it's got all the necessities. And this is going to be the last bedroom of the build. So we're almost done. You just get to see where I go downstairs and fix those Parenthood bathrooms that I messed up. And I think I included just a tiny bit of the landscaping at the end. But as usual, most of that I've cut out just for the benefit of time. But I really hope that you guys will like this house. I know it's not, kind of the typical home that I build most of the time here on the channel, but I do really like modern houses, and I really like using the modern decor. So I will definitely be doing more of those in the future. If you have time to leave a comment, I would love to hear, what kinds of houses that you would like to see. I do have a pretty long list of requests right now as far as building very specific homes for people. So that's something that I may have to slow down on a little bit, just because I hate to take so many requests that I end up not having enough time to do, all the builds that people would like for me to do. I'm kind of one of those people, I don't know how to say no. So usually I'll just go ahead and say yes, but I try to tell everyone that I'm not going to be able to do it on any certain timeline, just because certain builds just take more research or more time to think it over or to find a reference photo or whatever. And so I'm happy to take specific requests as long as you can be patient with me. But just general requests are always good. Like if you want to see more apartments or you want to see community lots. Somebody did message me on Instagram the other day and ask me to build a bakery, which I thought would be kind of fun. I just need to do some research because I'm not really sure what a bakery would look like, but you know, I'm always up for any kind of challenge. So I'm always happy to hear about those. Oh, you might have saw a little peek there of the toddler playground that I put around the back corner of the house, which I thought turned out kind of cute. And then here are those 2 downstairs bathrooms that I remodeled. So this one was with the blue bedroom, so I went with the blue spa day pack here. And then for the pink bedroom, I went with just a gray and white spa day wall and floor with this hot pink shower and sink from Get Famous, which I think has a nice modern look to it. So problem solved. Everything worked out fine in the end. So that's going to be it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this video. I'm about a little less than 100 subscribers away from the next giveaway, which I said I would do at 750. So hopefully that won't be too much longer. So be sure to stay tuned for information on that. You can download this house as well as all my other homes from the gallery. My ID is ErikaBuilds, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My username is ErikaBuilds over there as well, and I always post lots of pics and stuff of the projects that I'm working on. So enjoy the rest of your day, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.